Exit, what's up, brother?
Yeah.
See all the big.
Yeah, the drugs started late for me though. A lot of people from my neighborhood, you know, most of my friends don't have social media, people and stuff like that, and they'd be like, "Why are you always making it look like you just been some drug addict?" And like you just like. I started using drugs very late in my life after my father died. Drugs came, I think I did my first hard drug at like 27 years old. But before that, like 13 and on, you know what I mean? Like it was all just this lost child, you know what I mean? Trying to imitate something, definitely a follower that was willing to go to any length to prove that. And this false sense of, like we own something, you know what I mean? And like, stuff that means nothing to people in the world, we put a value on it. And I've watched people die over this. I've watched people get life over this. I've watched people get paralyzed over this, you know. And I'm just so fortunate and so grateful to, I say this to people, drugs saved my life. The lifestyle that I was living before I started getting high, from the gang banging, from the drug selling, to the pimping, to these activities and doing things that all have their own consequences. Most of my friends got double-digit numbers or died. When I started getting high, the type of crime and the type of life I lived, you go from trying to do a homicide to you know, larceny over 250. You know, so these things become different. And so I always say that to people, like, using drugs saved my life. Because using drugs took me from that. You know, you're talking to a person who's been stabbed and shot before. And it took me from that, and it brought me to a crappier life. But say the consequences were lighter, but the consequences were different. My father had this disease, because we do believe that this is a disease. And got to a point where he was sneaking drugs out of my stuff. And one day I found him dead in the house. I had to smoke crack to deal with life. I had to use dope to deal with life. But now I'm stealing from my mother. I'm stealing from my kids. And the craziness that I did to get the next one. Jumping in cars while they're still running, only to find that there's a baby in the back. I'm playing with my life now just to get high or steal something from someone. Consequences were different. But these consequences, it brought me to a point of revival. It brought me to this thing in, you know, the recovery language, where it brought me to rock bottom. And I look at people that have died from doing the same thing that I was doing. Perhaps and I don't encourage anyone to use drugs, but maybe drugs could have saved someone else's life. But that was God's choice for me.
You see how it is.
Tell me about, like, do you have a story with recovery or addiction?
Yeah, I did 17 years in